Welcome, everyone. If you are watching this video, you are joining a conversation with me and my colleagues, Rebecca and Chris, and we thought it would be really fun to give you the bird's eye view of the education resources on the ASA website. And so that's what we're going to do. If you are watching this video and you have questions about any of the resources, then at any time you can feel free to reach out to Rebecca, me, or Chris, and we will try to answer your questions. And of course, if you watch out for the announcements of the teacher meetups, then join us for a meetup and we can answer your questions live. So with that, I am going to share my screen so that we can do a walkthrough of the website. We are going to be very nonlinear, so we're not going to start at the top. We are going to start with professional development. And so under the professional development rubric, we drop down, we have some things to talk about, and I'm going to toss it to Chris and or Rebecca. I'm not actually sure who's starting, but one of them's going to start.
Well, I'll start. I would like to first just follow up from what Donna said about our K through 12 meetups. We sometimes call them K through 12 chats, and these happen approximately once a month during the academic school year. And it's the time for just K through 12 teachers to come together for an hour each month, talk about what's happening in their classrooms, maybe if there are challenges that they're facing, asking other teachers maybe what they can give as advice. We oftentimes have guest presenters who share on topics that teachers have requested about. And you'll see announcements that are sent out from ASA. We also usually try to have announcements in My NCTM, and we really welcome you to join these. All the chats are recorded, so you'll find here the website to where you can go back and just listen to any of the previous chats that we've had. The second thing that I'd like to mention is meeting within a meeting. Our statistics workshops. We have two, one focus for middle school teachers and one focus for high school teachers. These traditionally happen once a year in the summer. Since COVID, our last two meeting within the meetings have been remotely, which has been very nice in that it allows more people to attend both internationally as well as in the US. Before COVID, we held these meetings once a year at our joint statistical meetings. So we're still kind of in a decision stage about how we're going to continue meeting within a meeting, whether we'll do it remotely, whether we'll do it live, or maybe doing both. So I would strongly encourage you to look for the announcement in the summer and think about joining us for this workshop.
And I think Rebecca's going to talk about the K-12 statistics education webinars.
Oh, thanks. Right. So these were organized as follow-up activities to the meeting within a meeting workshop. And so these go back. The first workshop was in 2007. And so there's been these webinars on different educational topics since then. Now we haven't had new ones since we started doing the chats. So the last one was in 2020, and then we started doing the K-12 chats. And so, but there's still lots of great things in there. And so we hope you'll take a look at some of the different content, information about our studio, lots of resources, all sorts of things, great presenters. So there's still a lot of good content in there. The Beyond AP Statistics workshop, that, like MWM, has been held at JSM for a really long time, longer than the meeting within a meeting workshop. It's offered for AP statistics teachers, and we'll also invite to your college educators to attend. and sometimes others. And it talks about material beyond the basic AP Stat syllabus. Now, because of COVID, like meeting within a meeting, it was held remotely. And actually, we've put up all the recordings. And so you can actually watch the VAPS workshop sessions online. So we'll help you take a look. And what happens for the future of VAPS is still to be determined when we'll hold it again, but it'll be there.
Great. Well, and I think we are now going to move to guidelines and reports. And I think Chris is going to start with guidelines and reports.
Well, the first guideline that you'll see listed on the website is our pre-K through 12 guidelines for assessment and instruction in statistics education, what we commonly call the GAZE report. There are actually two GAZE reports. One is for the college level, focused on the introductory statistics course, or at the high school level, the equivalent AP statistics course. The other document is the pre-K through 12 report, and it is now in its second version. The first GAZE report was published back in 2005, and now in 2020, we have updated the report to take into account the changes that have happened in terms of types of data that we work with, technological changes, etc. This is really what I would consider a must-read document if you're a K through 12 teacher. It's full of examples, 22. It talks about statistics at 3 levels, A, B, and C, but those are roughly equivalent to elementary, middle, and high school. And I think this document will just give you a real sense of the spirit of how we hope that statistics standards will be taught at the K through 12 level. Currently, it's being used by several states here in the United States as they are revising their mathematics standards and incorporating more statistics and data science content into their curriculum. The GAZE document has been used internationally as well for the past 15 years. So a very influential document. The second one that I would like to mention is the Statistical Education of Teachers document. This was a document to complement the MET document, the Mathematical Education of Teachers. And this document is focused more for mathematics educators, those individuals, be it at the university level or at the school level, anyone that is involved with the training of school level teachers to teach statistics. This document once again was based on the recommendations from the GAZE 2 document. And I think the final link under that website is just a position statement from the American Statistical Association and the National Council for Teachers of Mathematics on the importance of professional development for our K through 12 teachers in statistics.
And Chris, we might just mention that as new statements are endorsed, then they would be also located there, and obviously as new guidelines and reports. So that's a an entry where that people might want to check back and see it so that they can be up to date. And obviously if they have any questions, then they can reach out to us. And I think we're going to go to publications next, because we're pretty excited about some of the recent publications and the way in which they actually support the guidelines and reports.
Yes. So the first publication I'll mention is one that just recently was published, let's say in the last 2 weeks. So we're very excited about this. This is a new book that's called Statistics and Data Science for Teachers. You can download this book for free, like the GAZE document and SET document as well. This book is like the set document, focused for mathematics educators, for those that are going to be in the role of preparing our K through 12 teachers. This is a one sort of, hopefully a one-stop source that teachers, mathematics educators can go to and sort of have in their hands as they're thinking about how they're going to deliver their curriculum. You will be able to purchase a printed copy from Amazon very soon. Also, in the book itself is a link to worksheets that have been prepared to go along with all the different activities in the book, as well as your ability to access all the data sets that are used in the book. So that will also be downloadable for free. So like I said, we're very excited about this book, and we just really encourage you to look at it. What's nice is that with the PDF version, you can pick and choose what you might want to use in your classroom. So consider it a resource. The second one that I'd like to mention, if we go down the list a little bit, is Statistics Teacher. And I'm very fortunate to work with just wonderful editors. I'm in the role of the managing editor of Statistics Teacher. And this is a open source online journal, which is peer reviewed. It's equivalent in spirit to the NCTM publication, Mathematics Teacher. And we are very excited about our most recent edition, which is focused on lesson tasks related to the GAZE 2 document. And all of these lessons, as well as the article in this issue, are focused from a data science perspective at the elementary level. But if you go to Statistics Teacher, it will also give you news on technology. Oftentimes we have articles on technology. We have information on assessment. Just a wonderful resource for teachers to use that is free.
And I guess, Chris, we might also say that we really encourage people to think about contributing to Statistics Teacher, right? Because that we love to learn from all folks out there. So if you have a wonderful lesson or a thought about assessment or technology, reach out.
Very much so. You can scroll the website for the other resources that we have here. Most of these are open source. One of them you still do need to purchase, but there's Bridging the Gap, which is focused more for middle school. There's Focus on Statistics Investigations, which is focused more for high school. Making Sense of Statistical Studies, which is more for high school. We have People's Count. There's a few other journals that you can access as well. But this is just take advantage of these wonderful open source resources.
Yeah, Rebecca, any that you want to give a particular shout out to while we're on publications?
I just think it's great that you can download them for free. So Bridging the Gap, you can download the entire book for free. Making Sense of Statistical Studies, there's lots of fun investigations in there, all free. So I hope they take advantage of it and download it. Oh, and with Statistics Teacher, folks can also submit announcements if there's something you want us to let the community know about. We publish announcements, lessons, articles, all sorts of things. So yeah, we hope you'll take a look.
Great. Thank you. Lots of good reading material there. Indeed. For sure. Okay, well then I think we are going to go to classroom resources, sort of in the spirit of materials that will support your practice. So Chris or Rebecca, take it away.
Well, I'll jump in and mention Statistics Education Web. This is also related to Statistics Teacher. Statistics Teacher publishes lesson plans, but before Statistics Teacher existed, we had Statistics Education Web, and so it's an online source of peer-reviewed lesson plans. And so so some of these you can find on Statistics Teacher. Not all of them are there yet, but you can find them all on Statistics Education Web. And so it's focused on K-12. They're separated by the different grade bands, and it mentions, types of data and different concepts. So, and they are peer reviewed. We have an editor who's great. And we definitely hope people will submit lessons. There's a template, and the editor and associate editors are wonderful and are happy to work with authors. And we'd be delighted to publish your lessons. So we hope you'll consider it. Census at School, it's a fun project. It's an international project that the ASA brought to the United States in 2010, around the time of the 2010 census, but it started in the UK in 2000 and several other countries. It's been going on for quite a while. So the goal is to engage students in statistical problem solving using their own real data. But then what's neat is they can also take random samples of other students participating in the US and then several other countries. And so they have an opportunity to dive into their own data. Now, the US website, the US random sampler includes messy data. And so some teachers have told us that they really like this. It's an opportunity for students to really think about data and what it should look like and what reasonable values are, and get a chance to actually even clean some data. However, if this is not what the teachers want, the international website actually has a place to download clean US data. And there's even a great, the international site is hosted by New Zealand, and they even have an online analysis tool called Insight, where you can even download data directly into that free online program and investigate the data. So there's different opportunities from that. There's some lessons and resources, and we hope teachers will check it out. It's definitely free. One thing that can be used is, for example, if you do the survey at the beginning of the class, then you have this large data set full of quantitative and categorical responses that you can use all year to teach the concepts. So anyway, it's kind of a fun project. We hope you'll take a look. What's going on in this graph is an interesting project. So the ASA and the New York Times Learning Network have partnered on this project. It's weekly, most weeks throughout the school year, where students, they're given a graph, and they can actually go ahead and look at it and talk about what they notice and what they wonder, what impact it has on you and your community. This one's kind of new. And then to write a catchy headline. And so they can actually respond online and comment, and students can comment, make different comments and questions, and then the moderators respond as well. And then on Friday mornings, there will be the reveal that includes more about the graph, the actual article, additional questions, and then something that our moderator Sharon Hesney calls stat nuggets. And so definition of statistical terms where they are used in the graph. And so this has been great. So we hope you'll check this out and participate. There's also really nice collections of the graphs. And so there's climate change graphs. You can look at different releases by topic, graph type, even by the stat nuggets. So we'll hope you check that out. Sharon gives a great webinar explaining all of it. So we hope you'll check that out as well. And yeah, this has been a fun project to really engage students in thinking and wondering about graphs and data.
Rebecca, I'll just chime in and say that as folks can probably tell, there's lots of different ways to navigate to the education resources. So they can always just go to the education tab. They can go to K-12 resources, or of course they could bookmark this page in their favorite browser and be able to go directly from their bookmark. So yeah.
That sounds great. One thing I was going to mention as well, so ASA has a joint committee with the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, and that committee is wonderful. It's actually been around for a long time, I think since the 1960s or so.
Mhm.
And this joint committee has done a lot of work, and most of the resources focused on K through 12 come through this committee. So there's a lot of great stuff in here that I hope you'll take a look. The link for resources for teaching K-12 statistics, it's a huge document full of resources, and talks about all sorts of resources from ASA, NCTM, and others that are free, or mostly free. If they're, there's a few from NCTM and a few others that aren't, but it's mostly free, and there's great things in there. So it's a large document. There's lots of resources in there, but we hope you'll take a look. A few other things. The Locus project was an NSF funded project that really focuses on assessment. Chris, you were involved in that. Do you want to say anything about Locus?
The Locus project is just a wonderful source of assessment items for you to consider at the K through 12 level. During the project, I like to think of this project as the assessment part of the GAZE document. But there were two teams, and the project was very much modeled in the spirit of how the AP statistics exams are developed. So there were like two committees. One committee was focused on constructing items at the elementary to middle school level, and the other committee, the middle school to high school level. And these were pilot tested. And once the NSF project was finished, many of the items are now available at the Locus website. I strongly encourage you to check out these items. There's both multiple choice and open response items. With the open response items, just very similar to what you would find if you went to the AP Statistics website, you'll find the item, you'll find the rubric for the item, you'll find student work that is critiqued, you'll find commentary from experts on the items, as well as resources that you could use in teaching those particular concepts that are being presented in that item. You can also sign up at this website as a teacher, to where there are some multiple choice exams that have been constructed, and you can actually give your students those exams. They can take them electronically. And once your students take these exams, you receive feedback on how well your students did by the different components of the statistical problem-solving process that is promoted in the GAZE document.
So Chris, I just wanted to follow up with you and ask, we've said that this was an NSF funded project that is, so it's still, but still available. And would you say, even though it was developed along with GAZE, with the first GAZE, that it's still a great resource and is linked to, can be used in the context of GAZE too?
Very much so. Every one of these items is very much still relevant with the GAZE 2. I like to think of the GAZE 2 document as just the GAZE 1 document, with the enhancement of ideas more toward the data science. And so these are wonderful items, I think, to use for formative assessment in your classroom, where you're hoping that your students just build those foundational concepts and skills that are needed to become a good statistical thinker.
Great, thank you. Rebecca, any of the resources, the other resources that you want to give a shout out to?
I think I'll quickly just mention, this is statistics. So there's a lot of videos and resources for educators to promote statistics as a profession. And there's a lot of great videos. There's data challenges. So there's a fall and a spring data challenge. So students in high school and undergraduate, they can jump in and into big real data sets, and then there's lots of inspiring videos. There's all sorts of things for counselors, teachers, parents, and so check out the website, plan on the fall and spring data challenges, and they can actually sign up to receive announcements when there's new things that are posted. So statistics teacher does that as well. Or actually, before I forget, up here it says K-12 teachers get a free ASA trial membership. So yeah, there's a free 1-year membership to ASA for teachers, and there's a K-12 discussion group, and so you can get announcements of what's going on. So if you haven't joined ASA and you want to try it out, we hope you'll try it. It's free, and then you can get the updates about what's going on. So.
And I guess our last category is student competitions. So I guess we already talked about This is Statistics Fall Data Challenge. In the past, we've done Statsball when there was an NCAA basketball tournament, but we've also done, we had an option last year that was around probability. I guess Chris or Rebecca, do you want to talk about the visualization poster competition and the ASA statistics project competition?
Sure, I'll jump in. So,
okay.
What were you going to say, Chris?
I was going to let you do it, Rebecca.
Yeah, the poster competition, it's been going on for over 30 years. And so it's an opportunity for students to analyze data, put it in a graph, 1 or more graphs, and really the focus is on the visualization of the data. But it can be a photo of a physical poster, or it can be a digitally created poster. There's nice prizes, and there's different, it's for K-12, but there's different grade categories. So it's K-3, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10 to 12. But it's a nice opportunity, and there's some nice prizes, and yeah, you can see the winning posters and the rubric, of course, and it's due every year on April 1st. But it's been a fun project, and so yeah. Now
I might just mention that there is a new rubric for the data for the poster competition from the one that had been used for many years, and so if you're considering for your student or some of your students to enter this, it would be very helpful to look closely at the rubric.
And actually maybe even come to a meetup and ask us questions about the rubric if you have them. So maybe
Right.
we'll even think about focusing on how to encourage your students to participate in the poster competition. Statistics project competition. Rebecca, anything
Sure.
you want to say about that?
Yeah, one quick thing about the poster competition. It's a nice opportunity for students to really jump in with the recommendations of GAZE 2 and jump into the statistical problem solving process. So they start with a question, they collect they collect data, they analyze it with the graph and the visualization, and it's nice for students to be able to do real projects. And that's also true of the project competition. So instead of a poster, it's a written report. It's for grades 7 to 12. However, the majority of the entries are in grades 10 to 12, but we definitely welcome 7 through 9 as well. And it's just a nice opportunity to do a real statistical project where they answer a research question using statistics and they write it up in a report. The projects are due every year on June 1st. It's June 1st because it's after the AP statistics exam. And so sometimes AP stat teachers will use this as a project after their students have completed the exam, but it doesn't have to be. There's earlier grades or non-AP stat courses, or even students who you need an advisor, but there's students who do it outside of the classroom as well and do it on their own. So there's some nice prizes, and you get published in AmStat News just like you do with the poster competition, and so you get published, you get a check, You can get graphing calculators and so on. So it's a fun thing.
Great, thank you. And we have we celebrate Mathematics and Statistics Awareness Month with a virtual science fair. So that's another opportunity for students to submit their works, either individually or as teams. We have some resources here for folks who are just going to engage in science fair projects. And then the COMAPS mathematical contest in modeling. Rebecca, you want to tell folks about that?
Yeah, so problem C of this competition, and it's an international competition, which is neat for high school and undergraduate students. Problem C focuses on data insights, and so ASA does an award for this, and so yeah, we hope you'll check it out. There's some nice prizes for that as well, and this is nice in that it's an international competition. Some of the other competitions on the ASA website are not international, like the poster competition, the project competition, they're not international, but this one is. And so it's still an opportunity to think about and analyze data.
Great, thank you. And then the last one is for students in the Washington, D.C. area.
Yep, that's correct. What's neat about, so this is hosted by the Washington Statistical Society. And what's neat about it is, and this is actually true for those students in the Washington, D.C. area who also participate in the poster competition. The Washington Statistical Society hosts a regional version of the poster competition. The winners get invited to a really nice banquet. There's nice awards. They get to chat with local statisticians. It's a really nice thing. So if you're a middle or high school student in the Washington, D.C. area, you can participate in the Curtis Jacobs competition, but you can also participate in this regional version of the poster competition. There's actually other regions for the poster competition as well. And so if you happen to be a region, there's the regions listed on the poster competition website. You would submit it directly to that local region. It's usually an ASA chapter in like in a state or SON, but it's open to anybody in the US. And so you don't have to be in a region to participate. But anyway, yeah, those are the competitions.
That's great. Well, so as folks can tell, we have lots of resources, but we're always interested in hearing from folks about what else they would like to see. And so with that, I'll ask Chris and Rebecca if they have any final thoughts, and then we'll say goodbye. Chris, any closing comments that you would like to share about K-12 resources?
Well, I think we're very fortunate we've had so many dedicated people over the years that have given of their time to have these resources developed. We need you to spread the word about our website. I think our website is not one that teachers naturally would go to, but fortunately, NCTEM has been a great supporter for us and really advertising for us. But please share with others that these resources are available. And I think, as Rebecca mentioned earlier, I think one of the beauties of these resources is that they are peer reviewed. There's not anything on our website that hasn't gone through the peer review process. And so we like to feel that our resources can be trusted resources that you use in your classroom.
Great, thanks, Chris. And Rebecca, any closing comments?
I think Chris said it perfectly. I just appreciate everybody who's done lots of work over the years to put these resources together, and we appreciate all the teachers who use them, and really the teachers who are doing wonderful work to teach statistical literacy and statistics to K-12 students, and also those great mathematics educators who are preparing future teachers. And so like Chris and Donna said, if there's anything that we can do to support you in these efforts, please reach out to us and let us know. And yeah, we hope you'll find these helpful. We hope you'll share, and we hope you'll contribute. So hopefully you'll consider writing things for statistics teacher. Maybe you have a fun lesson that you don't think too much of it. submit it. It could be great. So anyway, so thank you.
Great. Well, thanks. And we hope that this video will be helpful for you, and we'll look forward to seeing you at future K-12 meetups.